doing?
Okay, there we go.
Come on.
We got Sabian now.
Come on,
And then we're just missing one other. Who's the other person?
Ryan.
All right. It says my microphone's muted. Wonder. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh my goodness, thank goodness. All right, good. We're just waiting on now. I don't know, these links are driving me crazy. I'm glad. Okay, so that's good. We'll give it another minute and get Ryan on here, and we'll get the show on the road this Friday afternoon, man. How's your Friday going?
So far so good. Running errands all day.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. All right, we'll give another minute for my man to get on here. If he don't hop on in a couple minutes. Drew's texting him too to get him the link. So. All right, looks like he got the link. We got another minute. He'll get on. Sabian, where do you live at?
I live in Orlando, Florida right now.
Oh, nice, nice, man.
Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
I've only been back here for about a year and a half. I've been kind of all over. I was in the Army, so I just moved back about a year and a half ago.
So what brought you back?
School. I'm bridging my medical degree to a doctorate.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, I moved back here.
When you said you moved back there, is that where you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up here. Yeah.
Okay, nice, nice. How old are you right now?
I'm 28.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you've been through it all. Then you're in You went through the whole. You're not a young one.
Thanks.
You're not a young military guy. You're an old military. How long you been in the Army?
I was in it for a few years. I got medically discharged. I got hurt on deployment.
Oh my gosh, dude, what happened?
We were doing a medical op, and I blew up my knees, like literally dislocated my knee, carrying somebody, and also crushed my hand on one of the tank lids, trying to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your hands all right?
Yeah. That took about 8 months to a year for all that stuff to heal. And then now, for the most part now, like I can do everything for the most part pretty normal.
Yeah. That's no joke, man.
That is crazy.
Yeah. It was fun. I miss it. Good
times. Yeah. What's it?
Yeah, I miss traveling.
The travel part.
Yeah. Well, like now, I travel now for fun, so I guess I can't really say I miss it that much, but I miss, like, you make really good friends while you're in there. So I think I miss those people more than anything.
The camaraderie, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've had people, leave our company and they say the same thing, man.
Yeah.
They said the money's great. It's great, but they miss the most is they just miss the camaraderie, being on a team with a bunch of other people, working towards a cause, starting something, building it together,
Yeah, I really like that about it, and like so far the interactions I have, I think I like the way everyone interacts for the most part, and I really like that. So I think that's what draws. The money's nice, yeah, but that doesn't draw me really to it. I like how friendly everyone seems.
Yeah, it gets better too.
Yeah.
I always said, well, I kind of look back at my last 10 years, and I've been with this company for 12 years. And I remember looking back at it and just trying to reflect on like what happened for me. And I'm like, I came into this company and everybody I was good. The relationships were business relationships when you come in, it's business.
Yeah.
And you have coworkers, you have colleagues, but what's great is that we're all kind of alike and we're all on the same mission, and you find that you have so much in common. And what's great too is, we don't really hire just bad people. We try and really make sure that we hire quality people, and a lot of times that comes from personals. Like if you're a good guy and you bring one of your friends into the company, well, chances are it's probably going to be a good guy too.
Yeah, so, that makes total sense.
So that helps a lot. And what happens is, before you know it, those business relationships turn into friendships. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then the friendships, before you know it, these people are going to be in your wedding one day, and they're like family. You're they're like, it's like your brother.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it was for me in the business. Is I came in and started as business colleagues, and then we became friends. And before you know it, you pick your head up and it's not even friends anymore. It's just it's literally family.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. I think that's the best work environment too, when everyone gets along. And you always have those that don't get along, but if you can have a majority where everyone gets along and they have a good time, like I think that's like the best work environment, honestly.
Yeah. We have a big sign when in my office in Pittsburgh, when I had this big office in Pittsburgh, we had a sign that said no negativity allowed. Real big on the wall.
Oh, speaking of which, how was your move? Did all that go smooth?
Well, it's going smooth as we speak. The movers got here this morning.
Awesome.
It's a 2-day process. 2-day process. Drew is actually at my house right now too.
Oh, that's funny.
Drew's here because we wanted to get some of the kids' rooms painted for him, and he's doing some touch-up paint right now. So
that's nice.
It was good because I just sent him the link and told him to shoot it over to you guys. So.
Yeah, Ryan should be joining. He sent me a link.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I feel weird. I'm the only one with my video on, so I'm gonna go ahead and join the crowd.
Sorry, you know what? I'm walking around my house right now. I'm gonna go into my office in a minute. I was just waiting for you guys to get on.
Oh, you're good.
Yes, sir. Oh, underneath that old English furniture.
Oh, the white.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right at the bottom of the steps. Sorry, literally the movers are coming in right now, and they're going to be asking me where to put all this shit the whole time. So, but
Yeah, I'm about to be going through that myself, so I feel you.
when are you moving?
I was supposed to move this past weekend, and that got pushed. The company wanted to wait until the following weekend, so I'm assuming next weekend.
Oh wow. Where are you moving? Orlando, right?
No, yeah, I'm moving from Orlando up to Chicago. I'm going to what's it called? Rock Lake?
Oh, nice. You're going to be up in Chicago? Nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. Drew, did you know Sabian's moving to Chicago?
I did.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm moving too.
That is awesome. Are you? Where are you moving? When you moving?
Yeah, everybody's in the process of moving. It seems like I've been in the process of moving to Tinley Park. So it's still
Tinley.
in the Chicago area.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on the map.
Yeah, it's really nice there. So
Nice.
me and my girlfriend, we already have our place. It's already being set up. Like she's been there, and I just kind of visit on the weekends if I can.
That's awesome. What's your girl do?
She's actually a social worker. So she's right now she's just handling clients from home, and she does these sessions, but they're just on the phone. But yeah, she's a social worker.
Nice. So she gets to work from home.
Yeah, or if she wants to, she can go into the office. So
Yeah, same with us right now. Pretty cool. Here's my house. You guys want to see the house real quick?
Sure.
All right. Let's see. How do I turn the camera around? Here we go. So I'm in my office right now. They're still moving the stuff in. There's my chair from Restoration Hardware.
Nice.
Shit was $3,000 for that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, this couch was probably $5,000. For real.
Okay.
I mean, go look up Restoration Hardware. You know, dumb stuff.
Nice floors.
Yeah. So there's the big living room area.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That house is ridiculous.
We'll have a 85-inch on this wall right here. And then, I mean, this is huge. I could probably reach the top of this maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
look how high that is. Crazy.
That's definitely a blessing right there. That is a beautiful home.
You know, this when you pull up, we got one of these things.
Oh wow.
It's like in the Wolf of Wall Street when he's crawling out of the thing, country club.
I gotta see that movie. Everybody talks about it. I gotta check that movie out.
Yeah, you got to. It's pure entertainment. It's just It's just great stuff. This old school furniture from like 1970, 19. I don't even know. Maybe the 1600s. I don't know what this is about. Drew's up there, upstairs, dining room. It's just huge.
Heck yeah.
Huge kitchen.
Oh, that's the spot right there. That's a nice kitchen.
You could cook it up in here.
Mm-hmm.
And we even got like a little sitting room over here.
Wow.
My mom's out there. Backyard's ridiculous.
That's gonna be a lot to cut.
They came and cut it yesterday, actually.
Wow.
Little patio there. Yeah. It's crazy. Pretty crazy.
Yes, it is. Definitely crazy. That is a nice house.
So
when
if you got $20,000 a month in residual income, you know you can get a 30-year mortgage on $1 million house for probably like $6,000.
Okay.
You know, so that means that, you know, if you wanted to get like a nice $1 million crib, or, you know, $2 million crib, you could
Yeah.
probably do it for probably 5,000 per million, you know, if you get a good rate. So you could probably do it for 10,000 a month, 2 million, nice $2 million property. And then you'll still have another $10,000 a month left for your cars
Yep.
and for all your other bills. And then that's just your monthly residual income. Then guess what you get to do after that? Get to go to work.
Yeah. Pretty
We can
much.
go make as much money as we want from that point, right?
Yeah.
So that's the deal, man. You build that residual income, and you keep stacking, and you keep building up your weekly income as well in the business, and you have them both, right? So I've been running training class for 12 years. You know, I noticed stuff like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
So I don't need like you know, a setup. When I started, I needed to be in the office. I needed to be all organized. I noticed stuff like the back of my hand. I could do it while I'm sleeping. So
Yeah.
I want you guys to be able to same thing, have that muscle memory to where you don't even got to think, and it just comes, and it comes right to you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the key to that is repetition, and then you have to have patience, because some things just take time. But you can't tell me that if I just sit here and I do curls every day and I keep putting more and more weight on every day, I'm not going to have strong biceps. It's impossible. Like if you rep something so much, it's impossible to not get strong in those areas.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I can't do curls today and then go tomorrow and be like, you know, looking at my biceps, like, what's wrong with you? You know, like, why aren't you big? You have to realize it's going to take, well, like a farmer can't plant crops, and see, I can't plant seeds today and go out there and start yelling at them, why aren't you growing tomorrow? You know, like, what kind you think about it. Think about this for 1 second. Think about this. You're watching your best friend, or right? Can't go now. We lost Sabian.
I think so.
Oh well, think about, we lost. You're watching your best friend, and he goes out there and he plants seeds, and then the next day he's flipping out because there's nothing that's grown. You would literally think he lost his mind. But people do that all the time in society. They'll do something right one time, one day, you know, and they'll think that everything should just be delivered to them tomorrow.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of days, takes a couple of weeks, takes a couple of months, takes a couple of years sometimes. That's all. But there's no way that if you do the right thing all the time, you do the right thing the right way, and you're always, if you consistently do that, I don't think it's possible to end up with the wrong results in the long run, you know? So we have to be consistent. We have to be persistent, because there's going to be resistance. That's what they say. So you're going to have resistance. And the key is your persistence has to beat that resistance. Or the resistance will beat your persistence. Either way, right?
Yeah.
So you say, well, I'm not gonna let that resistance. I'm gonna beat my I'm gonna just keep being persistent and being consistent with you know, and that's the phrase right there. So so anyways, man, how's your first week gone so far?
It's going smooth. Just I'm actually gonna go into the office at 4 because I'm off. So I tried to take a couple of days off because like I told everybody, I'm still working my third shift job and trying to help my folks out. You know, my parents are during this COVID stuff is
You're grinding.
But just trying to take everything one day at a time, trying trying to fit in a little bit of studying here and there, and I'm trying to get some sleep, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you, bro. Um, uh, so you're gonna go into the office today? You're gonna meet up with Drew?
Yeah. So he was asking me if I can come in today, be there around 4 o'clock, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. All right. Well, then, how far is it for you to get to the office?
It'll be about I think 45 minutes or so.
All right. Because you
Yeah.
know what, I'll try and maybe bang off this information out. Because I got information to kind of review with you too. We haven't even gone over nothing yet. We've just been hanging out and bullshitting pretty much.
All right.
But I'll try and get through all the important information so that you can get on the road.
Okay.
By then. So you just focus on the road. You don't have to be on 2 calls at once or something.
Okay.
And then when you get to the office, yeah, soak it up, man. Make sure you have some sort of notebook that you just carry around with you.
Always got it.
Yeah, because when you're there, man, somebody you might see Gio. Gio's our #1 producer, and he might be talking some good sauce, and you might want to get that down real quick,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, have you been to the office yet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know where it's at and everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. That place, we're still working on hooking that up, by the way. Obviously, COVID-19 slowed everything down. They still haven't come hung a TV up on the wall. It's been over 2 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
everything's just taking forever. So where are you at this week so far with your let's say your presentation? How do you feel about in-home? Like if you had to walk into a house right now, how much of the presentation do you think you can run through with the client? You feel confident you can run through with them?
So I don't want to say I'm 100% confident with running through the presentation in home, but if I was, virtual, I have my notes here. So, I kind of just like feed off of that, and then I can make it sound natural. But yeah, it's gonna take a little practice to be, fully comfortable with that.
So when I said in home, I really did mean virtual. So, but I
Oh,
know we're not really going into the home yet. But yeah. So, but that you're right. That is 2 different things, though. In the home and virtual are 2 different for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, if you can sell virtual, you should definitely be able to sell in the home.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I'll recruit and I'll talk to people that are they've done telemarketing, right?
Yeah.
And they're really good at telemarketing, telesales, right? And I'll say, you're really good at selling people over the phone, and you never even see their face. They don't see your face, and you can sell somebody like that. That's a skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you were face to face with them. They're like, oh, if I was face to face, it'd be over.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual is the same thing. Like if you can sell virtually, if you're face to face, it's over. So I think that's kind of cool that a lot of our new people are being forced to learn virtually sales because it's just going to naturally make them better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like training for a 2-mile race when you only got to run 1 mile. Really, you're
Yeah.
just going to be prepared. You're going to be prepared for something way harder. So when you get there, it's going to be a lot easier.
Yep. Definitely.
So that's pretty cool in itself. So virtually, you feel pretty comfortable, you said, since you got your notes in front of you and everything?
Yeah, I'm okay feeding off the notes up to a certain point. We pretty much got to, let me see where we're at. So today we actually made it up to the like term versus whole. So term versus whole life. And then
Okay,
just kind of like touched on that today. But
good. So
yeah.
that's pretty much the first half. That's term versus whole is the beginning of the second half of the presentation.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to be going into next week. So that's good. You just start getting into that right now. That's a perfect place to be at coming into today. Perfect place to be at. Like I said, I'd rather you be 50%, 100% on the first 50%, rather than, you go through the whole thing this week, but only be so.
Yeah.
So
Can't
if
wait
you
till I
look at,
remember it all.
yeah, yeah. So if you look at the week, let's just do a review for week one. Okay, so let's talk about Monday. Even if you can go back to your notes a little bit, we'll go over your notes real quick
Okay.
and just see what we got, and I'll kind of add some stuff maybe, and
Oh,
more just a review and a refresher for you today, just to kind of get caught up to here's what we did week one, and getting an idea, getting our head wrapped around all that.
all right. So let me start here. So we definitely talked about building rapport. That was one of the main things. This is just about Zoom stuff, and then setting up Zoom. We talked about form, so the family, occupation, recreation, and then
Go back,
me.
but a couple days before that, go back to Monday when you were with me.
Uh,
Monday you
oh,
had
you're talking
me.
about.
Yeah, Monday training class you guys had me
Are you talking about this? This was for the. Oh, my bad. This was the breakdown for the ALP.
for the
So
money.
and the
Yes,
bonus, yeah, for the bonus and
yeah,
everything.
yes.
Yeah, so I have those notes down too.
That's where we started. That's where we started. I started with that because that's understanding the opportunity. It's all numbers.
Yeah.
They say the path is all math. So really, anywhere you want to go, really in the company, in the business, we
Hmm.
can figure it out mathematically and backtrack those numbers.
Okay.
So,
All right, I'm here right now.
so what did we go over the first day? We went over if you
All
um,
right.
if you sat down with 10 people, you'd have 3 sales.
Yeah, so we've seen so I have a note right here, see 10 families a week and then try to get referrals. For 2 weeks. Hold on one second. I'm actually reading through these the first time because I've been taking a lot of notes. So the average close is one of three. The average sale is about $67 a month over the
Yes,
course of a year.
it's 800.
Yeah, 800. To be in the supervisor status, we got to do 2,400 over the 90 days.
24,000.
I mean, 24,000. Yeah.
Yep. Boom. Good.
Uh, and then we did like some scenarios. So based on 20,000 a week, and if we're making what is it? The agents are at 60% for the contract level. Uh, that pay would be, what is it, 1,200, and then 65% of that. Also, you take 65% of the 1,200, and then
Yep.
that'll leave us at 780.
That's your advance on commission for the
Mm-hmm.
week. Yep.
Yeah, and we just did scenarios like that.
Yeah, perfect, bro. I love it. You got your notes down good. And then what happened to the other $420? Remember, we got paid 780 out of the 1,200.
Yeah, the client pays the premiums, and then as the client pays the premiums, then we get we get the rest of that.
You got it. You got it. Starts getting released. Typically I say like after month 9,
Oh, after
9,
month 9.
10,
All
11,
right.
and 12, you get that other 420. And then
Okay.
once it hits 13 months, now it's a renewal. So you're going to track all your clients, and you're going to track how long they pay, because you got to make sure that they're always on the books. And as soon as they hit 13 months, you're in the clear. Nobody
Okay.
really ever cancels after that. If you're ever going to have a cancellation, 90% of all cancellations will be within their first year. If they don't cancel in that first year, they typically keep it forever.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's good to know.
Um,
Cool.
so good. So you hit the numbers right there, and the average sale will be about 800, and we do 3 a week, and be about 2,400 a week.
Mm-hmm.
But we said 2,000, like you said. So
Yeah.
so our advance was 780, and then we figured the bonus as well.
235.
235 was the bonus.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it, bro. So remember, if you want to keep it easy though,
Mm-hmm.
if you take half of your ALP, that's typically going to be your paycheck. Like
Oh,
if
okay.
you write 2,000, you'll typically make $1,000.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, if you write 4,000, you'll make $2,000 for the week. We always would say you want to be you want to do 4,000 a week, because that's going to make you 2,000 a week, and if you make 2,000 a week, that's 100,000 a year. A lot of people aren't used to getting paid weekly, so this is going to be new to a lot of people with the company, and I
Yeah.
always try to go over weekly paychecks is just different. You times things by 50 now. You know, I basically say if I get $1,000 a week, that's 50,000 a year, times by 50. So, how much would you need to make a week in order to make $1 million a year?
Hold on one second. Would it be 10? Wait.
20,000 a week. Yeah.
Okay.
20,000 a week would make you $1 million a year. 10,000 a week would make you 500,000 a year. And if you ever met someone who's making $250,000 a year, they're making about $5,000 a week.
Okay.
That $5,000 a week, when I came into this business, guys, was like eye-opening, jaw-dropping. It was, holy cow. I can
Only imagine.
actually make $250,000 a year. They're like, yeah, you can make $250,000 a year. I was like, how do I do that? They're like, just get about 15 people to do average. Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, just get 15 people to do average. You'll be an MGA. You'll be doing $30,000 a week, and you'll make $5,000 a week in income, plus residual income.
Wow.
Like, what? I could get, you mean 15 people, and I could get paid $250,000 for the rest of my life? And they're like, yeah. I was like, I could probably get 15 people to do that. I said, I could get 15 people to go play basketball with me tomorrow. I could get 15 people to go skydiving with me on Saturdays. And if you put $250,000 on the line, I'll have 50 people. Forget 15, I'll get 50 just to make sure.
Yeah.
What if I told you guys this? What if I said, hey, can you get 10 people to go skydiving next weekend? And if you get 10 people to go skydiving with you, you'll make $250,000 for the rest of your life.
I'd be hustling.
Would you get 10 people to do it?
I'd try to get more than that.
you'd have people lined up, right? And the thing is, like, that's getting people to jump out of a plane and almost kill themselves. You know? So I'm not getting anybody to do that. I'm trying to get people to come have a career and make money and have some fun and help people and do something positive and build residual income. And, you know, I can get 15 people to do that.
Yeah.
It's not like we're jumping out of airplanes or doing something crazy, you know? So they told me that, and that's what I did. I had my 15 people in my first 5 months, you know, up and rocking and ready, you know, hitting their numbers. And, you know, after 8 months, I was promoted to an MGA, you know, with the company. And my second year, I made over 200,000. My first year, I made 120. My second year, I made over 200. My third year, I made 500. My third year, I became an RGA and made 500,000. And then my fourth year, I made 937,000. And then after that, we've made, you know, obviously over $1 million a year since then. It just keeps growing, especially with the residual income building as well. You know, my residual income is over $20,000 a month right now. And then, you know, I left the agency that I built in Pittsburgh, partners with Simon over there. I worked 4 hours a day, made 20 grand a week, plus 20,000 a month in residual income. I was making well over $1 million, and left that and came out here and started this thing from scratch. people literally thought I was nuts. They're like, Tommy, you got it good, bro. Like, you got the life. You work less than 4 hours a day. You do whatever you want, wherever you want to go. I had to think big. And I was good. But I'm giving up good so that we can all go be great. Never accept good when great is available. I was always always trying to, find ways and think of ways to do bigger. And people were like, "How can you do bigger? You're doing as big as any." And I would ask the company. I said, "What else can I do? What else can I do?" I mean, I was number one 5 times in a row, six out of the last 7 years. It's like, how many? You win the Super Bowl so many times. Like, what else can you do? And they said, "Well, you want a challenge? Here's a great opportunity. Just comes around once. We don't really. Just Chicago's just. It's a territory that it'll open, and it'll probably won't open again for a very, 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 very long time. And if anybody's gonna get the opportunity, we're gonna give it to you." And so now I'm sitting here like, holy cow, this is what we've been praying for, is something bigger, and he delivers it. And then it's scary. And literally we just sold our house. I have a $300,000 townhouse in Pittsburgh. I got my house in Pittsburgh, my other $1 million house I'm selling, all kind of stuff going on in Pittsburgh, selling all that, move out here, started this office up over the last 6 months. And we're just getting started. But the opportunity is so much bigger because it's 10 times the size of Pittsburgh out here. So imagine if we did so many great things in Pittsburgh, imagine what we're going to be able to do out here, because we're right in the center of this country. And America is pretty much the center of the universe, That's a pretty American thing to say, right? But hey, I mean, this is it, and we're right in the center of America. And I just put all that together, and I was telling people that, and I was like, it really doesn't mean that much, because we're only in the state of Illinois. When I moved here 3 months ago, we were only operating in Illinois. And over the last 3 months, since everything opened up, we're allowed to go virtually, and now we can sell across state. I can recruit across state. If my cousin lived in Oklahoma, before, my cousin would have to move to Chicago to work with me. Now, he can still live in Oklahoma and still work with me and build his team down there if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Amazing. But what's great about that is if I'm gonna operate in all these states, it's probably best to be operating right out of Chicago now. We're centralized. We could go north, south, east, or west across the whole country, which is pretty nifty how everything just panned out. It's just everything worked out so far perfectly for us and what we're trying to do moving forward. So anyways, back to the numbers though, guys. We looked at the agent position doing 2,000. Then we looked at if you're a supervisor, you had 3 people hitting numbers. Then we looked at if you're a GA and you had 2 supervisors and they had people hitting their numbers. And then we had looked at an MGA, and an MGA doing 30,000 a week would make you 5,000 a week. And then we looked at an RGA would get 100% of the MGA's bonuses. So when you become an RGA, you've developed yourself and others to an MGA position. Once you do it, it's a lot easier to teach other people how to do it. So you want to get to the MGA as quick as you can, as best as you can. And now it's the easiest than it's ever been. And they reward you heavily on the way up. Before, you got no rewards at all until you were an MGA. Like if I brought 10 people in, you know what my bonus would be? Nothing. And when I trained them people, when I was a supervisor, you know what bonus I got off them? 25%. 25%. Now the supervisors get 125%.
Yeah.
The GAs got 50%. When you were an MGA, you got 100%, and that was what it was worth, though. It was worth the sacrifice of everything, because when you get 100% of everybody's bonus on your team, it's worth it. But now you get rewarded majorly along the way on your way up too. Like if you bring in 10 people, you get a $7,500 bonus right off the rip. So I'd encourage you guys to get your starting 10, the top 10 people you want to bring into the business, get them in, bring them into, I'll meet with them. I can talk to them. One of the managers will meet with them and talk to them. You don't really got to do the work. Just bring them in. We'll do all the work. Like somebody said to me, they said when I started in business, they're like, Tommy, well, how does it work with the leads? Do they give them to you monthly, or you have to buy the leads? And I said, well, I know we don't buy the leads at all. They give us the leads. That's the biggest reason why I came to the company, is because we do no cold calling or prospecting. But I'm not sure the details on it. In fact, you want to know what? I'm not 100% sure on a lot of the stuff because I'm so new. I would rather you just talk to my manager, because he will be able to answer all of your questions. If I answer them, I might even give you the wrong information, and I would sure hate to misinform you. So to be honest with you, I'm not really qualified to really answer any questions at this point. So I'll just have my manager answer them for you. If that's better for you, he'll do a better job. And what I did is anytime people asked me questions, I just deflected it to my manager. And not like it was what I needed to do. Like if somebody asked me to operate on their teeth, I would do what's right and tell them I'm not qualified to do that. I'm going to have to go to see a dentist. Just like if someone said, hey, they said, hey, Sabian, how's it work over there when you're a supervisor? Do they do this, do that? And you can be like, to be honest, I'm not qualified to answer that. I'm going to have to get you over to my manager. Because if you try and answer it, you can ruin their whole life. This person would love this opportunity. They would crush it. It would change the whole entire family's career. But you answered one of their questions wrong and turned them off, and they never came in. You ruined their whole life. Just like if I try to operate on someone's teeth, I could kill them. Literally, they'll get infected and die. Yeah. So you don't want to mess somebody's career up before it gets started by trying to answer questions that we're not qualified to answer. And that's what I did at the beginning, is I just passed them on to my manager and made him do all the work. Basically, it was easier for me too. I didn't have to do nothing. So up front for you guys, that's the easiest thing. It's the easiest $750 you can make, and you can change somebody's life, and you do it for the right reasons too. And you don't know, like honestly, I literally thought one of my best friends, he works with this company right now. I literally didn't think he would be good. I was his best friend. I didn't think he had it in him. I was like, he don't got it in him, right? And I didn't ask him to come in for an interview. I asked a couple of my other friends to come in for interviews who were, I thought had it. And he hit me up, and he said, oh, I heard Lou was coming in. What's going on? And I was like, yeah, Lou and Brad and a couple of these guys. He's like, well, how about me? I was like, you? I mean, he's my best friend. I know him inside and out. Like, you? Really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, sure. Come on in, bro. He came in, and he did better than the other guys. Crazy. So the key is just getting them into the interview and letting them see will allow them to make that decision for themselves. And until, if they make a decision without seeing it, then they didn't really get a chance to make a truly informed decision, So that's the key. It's like listen, it's a half hour. I'll tell them it's a half hour. Just watch it for a half hour. If it fits, if it's fit, it'll fit. It'll be like a magnet. It'll suck you right to it. And if it doesn't fit, it'll be like a magnet. It'll push you away. Same thing. And that's what's cool. But if we don't check it out, we're never going to know. So anyways, that's what I did to help build my team real quick. And for you guys, I could see, there might be opportunity for you to get on your feet pretty quickly and, make a couple of extra $1,000, man. I got one guy, he's over $10,000 in 2 months. in extra money from this. Plus,
Wow.
when you bring those people in, how about this? I got an email the other day. I forgot about it. When you bring those people in, their business that they write when they're here counts towards the numbers that you need for convention. So one of the first things we're going to do when you guys get released is we're going to show you what you need from now till the end of the year to qualify for the trip to Cancun. So we, obviously don't want to miss those numbers. And it is an amazing trip. I haven't missed one since I've been here. And the first one, I worked really hard my first year. I wasn't even trying for it. I just worked really hard and I hit it. And I went. And me and my dad went. It was Hollywood, California. We stayed at the Beverly Hills Hilton, where they do the Academy Awards and roll out the red carpet show and everything. So we stayed there, and I brought my dad. It was so amazing. And I vowed to never miss a trip, but I also vowed to make sure my people never miss these trips. They are, I am talking 5-star the whole entire time. You don't pay for a nickel. You don't pay for nothing. In fact, they give you money. Last time I went, they gave us a fresh, crisp $100 bill. I don't even know if it's illegal or what. I don't know how they did it. They gave us a $100 bill, and we got to pick any pair of sunglasses we wanted. I got one of those sporty Oakley glasses you can wear on boating and stuff, because I never buy these on my own, Oakleys. They gave us $200 and some Oakley glasses when we show up at convention, and it's just awesome. They really treat you really well. Last year we stayed at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. It was just off the chain. So, when you guys get released, we're going to track that for you and help you track that, how to make sure you qualify for your convention trip, obviously. It's going to be in Cancun next year. But you have to do the business. So, it's like for a full year, it's like 90,000. You guys will be a half a year, so it'll probably be like 45,000, I'm guessing. So you need to do 45,000 from now till the end of the year is probably what you're going to need. Maybe less. I'm probably overestimating. Hopefully it's less.
It was like 42.50, 42.5, something like that.
Sabian's already on it. How about this? They will allow half of that business. Well, any business that your people write that you bring in will help you towards that 42.5. Up to half. So you can get half of your convention qualified for from the production from people that they bring in. So Ryan, you bring in your friend Ron, he ends up writing 22,000 himself. That 22,000 is going to count for his convention, but it's also going to count for your convention as well. And then you write 22,000 yourself, which over 6 months is like peanuts. And you got a trip, bro. Come on. We should have the whole crew at Cancun, man. We really should. We'll rig it. It won't even be rigged. It'll just be doing the system, where we all fall. And then you're going to have your boy Ron. He's going to do 22,000 himself, but also he's going to bring his boy, and his boy's going to do the other 22,000. Ron's going to be right at convention with you with his girl. You and your girl, him and his girl, boom. You guys are, the girls get all dolled up because there's a big night where they have award ceremony and everything. They love it. They all go get their hair done, their nails done. They put on their ball gowns. The girls go have a good time. It's fun. It's great. So anyways, that's a little side note too for you guys, for sure. And then also what's nice is all of that goes towards building your team. When you're a supervisor, boom, you already got your 10 people. You're a GA, those are your people. And when you bring them in, there's opportunity for them to step right into management as well.
Yeah.
And the sooner we step them into management, the sooner you step up. And we, if you want to step up so others can step in. One of the mottos when I was coming into the business, we always would say, you want to step up so others can step in. So my job was to make sure I was always learning more, getting better, and making sure that I was kind of stepping up my game. So I created room for other people so they could step in. And you know. So that's some stuff on team building. What kind of dog is that, Savia?
She's a Great Dane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's big.
Holy cow. A Great Dane. My
Yeah.
buddy had a Great Dane Dalmatian mix.
Oh, that's an interesting
Wow.
mix.
Holy cow. It was huge.
It was a horse.
It was.
She's
But
10 months old and she's 120 something pounds right now.
4 months.
She's 10 months.
Oh, 10 months. I was going to say.
Yeah, her dad and her mom though are over 200 pounds, so I'm assuming she's gonna be huge.
Yeah, you're going to be in the backyard, brother.
Yeah. Well, that's what kind of sucks. Is like, so I was gonna fly up there and like look at places. I was just gonna like rent a house up there, but because just with COVID and all that and them like quarantining and stuff, I wasn't able to. So I just got an apartment for right now, and I'm like, it's gonna kind of suck having to walk her all the time. But
Yeah.
it'll be all right.
So when's your you're leasing one for a year?
Yeah, I'm doing a year lease. I mean, it's not that expensive to break it, so if I need to break it, I can. Like, so if I find a house or something, then I'll just break the lease and then go to the house.
Yeah.
But I figure I'll just do it 1 year, and then just kind of see how it goes.
Nice.
But,
Some of the guys were Airbnb and that you can get a month Airbnb and just talk to the landlord, and usually they'll just let you keep going month to month at an Airbnb sometimes too.
if I didn't have a dog, it'd be a lot easier. But with a dog,
Yeah.
I would hate to like be bouncing around.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. So Monday we went over all the numbers, right? And then Tuesday you guys went over the activity. You know, how many calls it takes to get a sit down. Typically, it would take 20 to 30 calls to get one set. It would take 40 to 60 calls to get two set. And it would typically take two set to get one sit. So what we say is it's between 40 and 60 to get one sit. So you think when you look for the week, like if I need to get 10 sit downs, I need to execute probably 400 to 600 phone calls. In order to get 400, 600 phone calls in, you know, I'm probably going to bang out when I'm working, you know. So what I recommend to do, guys, is you want to, if you're going to call for that hour.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not going to call, don't call, but don't go at half and half.
That's
Either
what Drew
be
was saying
zoned-
yesterday, I think.
Yeah, either be zoned in, have it all in, your headphones in, the doors locked, your schedule up, you're warmed up. You even recited a few times. Maybe you called and role played with each other, did a practice phone call, got in the zone. Because hey, that first person, you might call, it might ring, and they might answer, and you're like, oh shit, they actually answered, and you're not ready, and boom, you just blew your first easy layup for the day, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want your warm up to be the first person you talk to. You know, you want your warm up phone call, especially when you're new. First few years at this, you want to warm up phones, and you don't warm up just to make 3 phone calls. You know, you're going to warm up to probably call for 2 or 3 hours straight. So you want to get a good 2, 3, 4, 5 hour phone session in, then take a break. I'd never run longer than 5 hour phone session. You know, I've run a 4 to 9 before a couple times. That was a lot. I'm typically a 5 to 9. 4 hour phone sessions are good. You know, something like that. 4 to 9, 5 hours, taking 10-minute breaks, you know, all that stuff. They'll give you good pointers on that, and they are key. You know, at the beginning, you might think, I don't need these breaks. It's just like when you're working out the first time. You're like, I don't need – the guy's like, slow down. And the next day, you're like, I can't even move my arms. I should listen to them. You know, so, you know, you don't want to – in the business, too, you don't want to go too hard on some things. Just listen. There's some pointers we'll give you on running good phone sessions. But the point is, you're about 25 calls per hour. Hopefully, you're more than that. But 25 should be a solid minimum calls per hour we can put in. So if I know I got 25 calls an hour and I got to do 400 phone calls, that's 16 hours. If I got to do 600 phone calls, that's 24 hours. So 16 to 24 hours of phone calls, I got to be on the phones a week, setting things up. Then if the next thing is giving 10 presentations. Well, 10 presentations is going to take about 15 hours, an hour and a half per presentation, just to give you enough time to prepare. You might have 10 minutes of preparation time before the meeting. You might stay on and bullshit with them after the meeting. Some of them are be 45-minute presentations and you're done. No sale, no paperwork. It's easy. Some of them will be hour and a half, 2-hour presentations because you sold them. There's paperwork and all kind of stuff. On average, 15 hours. An hour and a half per presentation is going to be the average, and that's still high. 10 presentations, that's 15 hours a week. So 15 hours a week of presentations, 16 to 24 hours a week of calling. That's kind of what it'll break down to. Here's the nice thing. I had to do the same thing, except I had to drive to the client's house. So one thing we had to consider for the day is all the drive time.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd have 4 days a week of drive time. We would set Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday. We set Thursday for Friday, Saturday, and I would drive probably an hour out to the area, you know, and then at least an hour home, 4 days a week. So there's 8 hours drive time a week. And then in between appointments and all that stuff, not even counted for. So, you know, it was easily a 60-hour work week, easily 60-hour work week.
How are the, it's kind of like it might sound like an off-ball question, but like with the clients up there and the spacing, can there be like, you know, if let's say you're located in downtown Chicago, could you end up having an appointment like clear across the state of Illinois? Like, does that happen?
No, not unless you want it one-to-one like that. So, when we do territories over here, like if you wanted leads in a zip code, I would keep you close to your area so you could drive to that area, you know. But a lot of the guys like road trip packs, and if they wanted to, I can go in and order us and get us leads that are out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh wow!
You know, in these little towns, and like they're not that little. They're still bigger towns. I mean, you'll be able to crush business up, but they'll go and stay there for a week in a hotel, and nobody goes out there. Nobody sees these people. So they'll go out there and they'll set a huge schedule because everybody's home. There's nothing to do out there either. They're all home. They're all doing nothing. So they just set these big schedules and they'll go out there and literally just rampage and crush a big week. And we call them, you know, we'll call it like they'll run out there and do a road trip, you know. And I can get them for you if you wanted to. But that's not that we wouldn't that wouldn't make sense business wise if you know, as a company we had all of our salespeople, you know, driving all over the place, you know, crossing by each other on the highway. Like if I had the guy who lived north of the city working all the way down south, and I had the guy who lived south working all the way north of the city, and they're like that, you know, that don't make sense. So we try and be
I would hate to put the mileage on my vehicle. I'm like, to me, that's not efficient at all.
Yeah.
And gas ain't cheap.
Yeah, right.
Well, so those things are not good on gas. So.
What do you got?
I have a Mercedes, so they're not good on gas.
Okay. Well, man, you'll feel for me, bro. I had a Chrysler 300 SRT 8.
Oof.
That was a gas guzzler, man.
I have an AMG, so that thing you have to put premium in it, and the maintenance on it's ridiculous. And
yeah, I had it back in 2008 when gas prices were like $4 a gallon, bro.
Gosh.
Crazy. Twice what it is now, literally.
Yeah, Florida, the gas here is pretty cheap, but I know some states are stupid expensive.
Ohio is ridiculously cheap.
Is it?
Yeah, when I drive from Pittsburgh to Ohio, I make sure I fill up in Ohio. You know? Yeah. But yeah, that's all. We went over some good stuff so far. These numbers are good to keep in front of us. Not having to drive is huge. But you can still go see people if you wanted to, and we'll keep you close, obviously, and all that. But so we went over the numbers on the calling. Then you guys went over how to make the phone calls, right? Which I hear you guys are doing great on that. How are you guys feeling on the phones?
So far, so good.
I'll be on the phones today for the first time.
Okay. All right. All right. Good. Good. Well, here we go. Couple pointers then. Let's go over phones for a minute, right? Let me give you some pointers.
I say actually, I need to go walk my dog because it's been like a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you guys
You
gonna
can
be?
take a break, guys. I've been going nonstop. You guys want to take a 10-minute?
I mean, are you trying to be on here like all day, or how long do you want to do the meeting for?
What time is it now?
For me,
It's
3:10.
Oh yeah, you're an hour ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was gonna go till Ryan had to leave, and I wanted to. What time did you have? Was it 15 after we said? So 3:15. I wanted to be done by 3:15 today.
Okay.
We were supposed to go to 4, but I was going to try and get us done 45 minutes early.
Okay.
So why don't we? What time is it? 10 after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this? Let's do from 2:30 to 3:15. Okay. I'll give you guys 45 minutes of just all kind of fire,
Okay.
and we'll be done. So we'll take
All
a
right.
break for 20 minutes.
Okay. That should be good.
Sound good?
Okay.
I'm gonna plug my phone in. I'll keep my phone on because I don't want to lose this. I don't know what's going on with my Zooms. Every time something messed up.
Hell
So
yeah, it's the second time.
yeah, man, I'm gonna just keep this one on. I'll plug my phone in, and then I'll see you guys back here at 2:30.
Okay.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
Yep.
There he is. We'll wait on Sabian for a second.
All right.
You like that chair? All right. Where's boy still walking the dog?
Yeah, probably.
Find your outside light should have a nice black one.
You have them? There, I gave them to you.
I'll have them here.
You want to go outside?
Sugar. Hey there. We'll give them another minute. I'm just gonna get started.
All right.
What is? Swing. All right. Why don't you sit on that beanbag over there, buddy? There he is. All right. So let's go over phone calls. We're going to hit some phone calls tonight. Keys to phone calls. 3 things: energy, urgency, and control. Those are the 3 keys to having a good phone call. Got to have good energy. Got to have energy. Got to have good energy, urgency, and control. They can't see you. So they got to be able to feel you. We only have one chance of making a good first impression. So when you call someone, beginning of the script says this. Like, let's say I was calling Ryan. It says like this. It'll say, Ryan. And he's going to say, yeah. I'll say, hey, Ryan. And that's it. Right there. So think about that alone.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 words that are coming out of my mouth are Ryan, hey, Ryan. And the thing is, Ryan's favorite sound in the world is hearing his name. So if I say that 2 out of the first 3 words that come out of my mouth, I'm going to catch his attention. So then you proceed into the script. Urgency and control is built into the script by the words that we use, but also we have to have urgency in our tonality of voice. So when we call people, we can't be acting like we have all day long to do this. You know, you got to act like I just called 100 people. I'm about to call 100 more. I got a bunch of people that are on my schedule. I got a whole bunch of other people that want to get on my schedule. I need to get you on my schedule. Let's get this thing scheduled. When's your schedule? Okay, great. Well, I got a busy schedule. How about tomorrow between 3 and 4 works good for you, right? Okay, well, in fact, I could squeeze you in today if we can get earlier. I'm busy with a few families, but I can see you between 7 and 8 this evening and get you and your family all wrapped up. That'll work good for you, right? You know, I'm just going at it, letting them know that I got to get this done, get them crossed off my list so I can get on to the next person. So that's got to be the mentality on the urgency. And control is whoever's asking the questions is the one who's in control. So if the client starts asking you all kind of questions, answer them with the rebuttals that you have on your script, but get right back into the script. Don't get back into a question and answering conversation with the client. Back and forth. They ask you a question, you give them an answer. They ask you another question, you give, and they just keep questioning you. They're going to get the upper hand, right? So your control is that, but also at the end when you book them, you want to have control on. Here's the key. When we were driving to homes, we had to solidify the appointment. Solidifying the appointment took almost as long as it took me to set the appointment is to solidify the appointment. Okay. We have to take, because if we don't, we just wasted 5 minutes. If it took me 5 minutes to set it, I'd rather spend the 5 minutes solidifying it, just to ensure it a little bit more. So, here we're going to virtual. The key to solidifying the presentation and making sure that they're going to be there is you have to make sure that the technology works and that their Zoom call works, their video works, their audio works, yours is working, internet's connections are good. So what you do at the end is you say, okay, so Ryan, tomorrow between 3 and 4 works good for you and your wife. Okay, perfect. We're gonna make sure we get you guys all squared away then. Now for tomorrow, this is to basically to confirm for tomorrow. I'm gonna send you an email, and what they ask is while I'm on the phone with you, if you could click the link on that email real quick, and this will help confirm that everything's good to go for tomorrow. Because one thing we also have to do is I have to make sure that the link is running correctly. So let me know, Joe, when you can get to your email and pull that up, okay, when you get a chance. And then we'll tell them, click that link, and you'll see me pop up. We need to make sure they're going to click the link, and it's going to pull up the Zoom. And what you'll find out is if they don't have Zoom downloaded, it'll help them get that downloaded. And now when you have an appointment with them later, it's already set up. You already tested it. But you also see what will happen is their face will pop up on the screen eventually, and you'll walk them through it. That's going to save you 5 minutes during the presentation. And it's going to allow them to see you, and now you can solidify them face to face. See, they did a study, and they found that the show ratio on phone sets versus the show ratio on door knock sets, lower. It's lower on the phones versus the door knock. So before, when I was in the area, I would knock on people's doors. Hey, got your lead here. You filled this card in, blah, blah, blah. No, I set an appointment with them to come back. They're always there. They never no-show you because they schedule it with you face to face. But if I call somebody and tell them I'll be there tomorrow between 2 and 3, there's a 50-50 chance they were even going to be there. So it's a better show ratio when you set the appointment face to face. So this is a great opportunity for us to get prepared, make sure they're ready for the appointment, but also solidify them face to face. Found the water in here. Oh, there it is. When we do solidification, you don't just want to brush it off. Slow down, take your time, and get the people's answers. It's going to show you're in control. So take control. And whenever you're asking them questions like, so Joe, tomorrow between 3 and 4, is there any reason why that time wouldn't work for you at all, or any reason why that you guys wouldn't be on that call? Okay, great. I just needed to make sure, because if I give that time slot to you, I cannot give it to one of the other members waiting to enroll into the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the key is just making sure that we slow down, get them to answer, and we don't just kind of talk over it and brush it through during the solidification, on the phones, face to face. Another thing is when we're making calls, you want to be dressed nice, because on your calls, you're going to be setting people. And when you set people, you're going to need to send them the link and solidify. So they're going to need to see you. So you're going to want to make sure that you're going to want to make a sale. You want them, right? So you want to make sure that they see, good background, and, that you're, presentable for that. Because some people might be able to meet with you right then and there. And those are the hot ones. Those are the best ones. They're the best ones. If they want to meet with you right then and there, and you're able to take it, and it's not going to disrupt what you have going on, that's solid appointment right there. And if you're not dressed and ready, it'd be tough, So you want to be dressed and ready for business, obviously. But that's the keys to the phone calls. Is urgency, energy, urgency, and control. And control comes down at the end of building into the solidification, starting to tell them what to do. Because now when you go into the presentation, they're already accustomed to you directing them. They're already getting accustomed to you giving them directions on, here's what we're going to do next, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So after that, phone calls, right? We're going to bang out on Wednesday. You guys went over the beginning part of the presentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beginning part of the presentation. Here's a quick phone call. Quick phone call will be something like this. Ring, ring. And the guy would say, hello. And I say, Joe. And he say, yeah. And I say, hey, Joe, this is Tom Vina with American Income. We take care of the benefits for you through your Steelworkers, local 123. I actually have that 3x5 card that you filled out and sent in. I just need to verify the information you wrote down on it, and we'll get your benefits right over to you and your wife. Now, it looks like Joe, you wrote down your address is 123 Main Street in Chicago, Illinois. Is that still correct? Okay, great. Also, it looks like you wrote down your date of birth is July 21st, 1964. Is that still correct? All right. And for the benefits that they picked up for you, you listed your beneficiary on these benefits, and this is for your life insurance as well, would be your wife, Mary. Is that still going to remain the same? Okay, perfect. Well, Joe, the reason I'm giving you a call is they're going to have me out in your area over the next few days, catching up with the rest of the members, and I already have a very busy schedule, but I can squeeze you guys in a little bit later today between 3 and 4. I know it's like 1 o'clock right now. I just have one client I got to see. But if you and your wife would be available, we can squeeze you in right between 3 and 4 today. Or I have a little bit of time later today between 8 and 9. What time do you think would be better for you and gives you guys enough time? Oh, you guys aren't home today? Okay. Well, you know what? Tomorrow tomorrow's pretty actually jam-packed because a lot of people want to see us on Sundays and Saturdays because they work during the week. look, what's your work schedule look like tomorrow? What time do you get back? You're getting back tonight? You're off tomorrow? Okay, perfect. Well, what time are you getting back tonight? 3 a.m. All right. Well, listen, my morning is jam-packed anyways. All right. I can see you first thing in the afternoon and get you guys squared away right between 1 and 2 p.m. I have a family I got to see at noon. Would that work for you guys? That works. Or you don't want to say, would that work? I'm sorry. You're going to say, that works good for you, right? And I'll say, yes. I'll say, perfect. Do me a favor, grab a pen and paper. I have some important information for you to write down. And if you can, Joe, while you're getting this information written down, I'm going to go ahead and send you over a confirmation link through your email, okay? If you have your email, is it still going to be joe@gmail.com? All right, perfect. I give them a solidification. I give them, here's my name, Tom Vina, tomorrow between 1 and 2 p.m. Get you, get the what is it, June 22nd, whatever the date is, and then you have them write down. I tell them, make sure you stick that on the fridge and let your wife know, and don't forget about me. And then check your email, pull up the email, go through that with them, and that's the phone call. So after we got these phone calls, the next step we were going to go over was when you get into the homes, okay? When you get into the homes, you got to be prepared. So before we get into the homes, there is prep time. Got to make sure you're taking time to prepare your laptop. If you're going to do a laptop presentation, if you're going to be virtual, have it all ready. Check the people's information. Look at the guy's name. Look at her name. Basic stuff, I'm telling you, but all the prep work is important. So whatever you can do to prepare will save you a lot more time in the home and make you look that much more professional. Just by knowing things about the company that they work for or the group. Like when you go into, let's say you did meet with a steelworker or something, you can pull up that steelworker's data sheet right in your lead pack. And it shows you how much the average income is in that union, what the benefits are that they get, why they like working with our company, who their president was, why their president signed up to work with our company is written right in there. The president really likes our discount benefits and really like the freedom of choice, and we can have that information to go over with them. Makes us that much more. Gives us another leg up on just some random company calls them like everybody else would. Remember, we got a place to be, a reason to be there, and a story to tell. That's all we need.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So when it comes to like doing all the presentation, I haven't seen it so far yet, so maybe we just haven't covered it. But I guess where I feel like I'm finding like confusion with all this is like we're doing a lot of practice over the script, and but at what point is the customer like looking at? I mean, I know there's different types of life insurances. Myself, I have my own, and there's a lot of different ones. So when at one point, like, what if A, when do they decide what they want? B, when does all the billing stuff happen? And then C is like, because we're being, at least from what I feel, is like we're being drilled to remember the script. It's like, what if they start asking off questions? Like, shouldn't you know the products and not just go by a script? Like, shouldn't you be proficient in knowing the different types of life insurance is why you should have what? Like, or is that just not this kind of position where this is very just appointment, set, book, and be done, and someone else handles everything else?
No. That's week 2.
Okay.
Week 2.
Okay. Well, because it's like, like a script is great and all, but like there's a lot of like off script stuff that happens of questionnaires and stuff that to me, that's where I'm like, I don't see why I see why we're learning the script to give us a foundation of like where to go with it. But then it's like, at some point you just have to be knowledgeable, and having a script doesn't help you. You just look dumb if you don't know the answers to the question.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you just repeat the script, like big whoop, like if you don't know the answers, then you're not really any good. So, but if that's week 2, then that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's week 2, and week 2 is the second part of the script, but still those answers and stuff is going to be like week 3, week 4, week 5. And the first 100 presentations is where you're gonna get you're gonna get questions, and you're not gonna know the answer, and that's what you're gonna learn. That's what the first 100 presentations are for you to learn on. There's no other way for us to teach you everything. But we'll give you as much as we can, and like think about all we learned this first week. I don't know if you guys think it's a piece of cake right now or what, but you learned a lot, in this first week. So, for us to throw in a whole bunch of other stuff, it would almost get mixed up with the shuffle. That's why I'd rather like just do it brick by brick. Get the first brick down, make sure that thing's settled in there, and then we're gonna put another brick on top of that. Make sure that one's settled in there perfectly.
Yeah, that's
and then,
that's where it gets confusing because like I'm studying to get my license, and so it's like the license test is teaching you all this stuff, and it's like, okay, we haven't covered any of it at this company. Does the company not care if you know it? No one's asked anything, and like, I mean, I guess I'm comparing it to my last jobs. It's like I was a network admin, so anytime we were in training, it was like hardcore stuff being drilled into you. Like you never went off the script or anything. Like there's a reason why you're a network admin. You have to know everything. There is no learn it along the way. It's like either you know it or you don't. And so that's where I guess where it's just a little confusing because I'm like, okay, all we've talked about this week is, reading a script and how much money you can make. And to me, as exciting as that is to know how much money you can make, that to me is not important. What's important is, do I know the information? Like it, to me, it's like, that's what should be being picked up on. Like, do you know the information? Are you able to do this? Can you do that?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, bro. I've been running training class for 12 years, and I've trained the most successful people in this company and broke every record the company has. Yeah. I know how to teach this business.
Yeah, I was just, like I said, I was confused. I was like, well, maybe I misunderstood of like how it should go, or like it just seems like really chaotic right now. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I don't really know. And like we're all.
Well, you're also studying for your license, so that's a whole nother bit of information, which is a lot to take in right now.
It's a lot. I was like, holy cow, there's so much stuff on the on the license.
It's like Mr. Miyagi a little bit. It's like Jackie Chan was and my son loves that movie, the
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
You don't even know why. He's like, why am I doing this?
Put your jacket on.
Yeah, jacket off. Pick it up.
Yeah.
No, that's.
He wants him to do it with a smile though too.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, and that's where I was like, well, maybe it's like week 2 or something, and it's like it's just trying to find, it's knowing who to ask, like what the schedule is, and like because like we're with Drew, like I love working with Drew, but then we start talking about other things, and it's like okay, and then I was like, oh, I forget to ask about that, and I'm like, I just need to put a list of what I want to ask, and
bro,
just
ask it's so much, bro. We just got to do it all the time, and just like always be around each other, and always just keep picking each other's brain, and like it's just so much. Like that happens to me too. There's just so much to go. I can't even get it all done, and can't get everything I want to. I wish I could just download everything and do like with a thing right now. It'd be amazing. I have one of these like little chips sitting right here. I was thinking, dude, I was like, what if I can just take it and just give it to everybody real quick? That'd be that'd save us all a lot of time.
Yeah. I was actually thinking too, like,
you know how many times I went over this shit? What I'm telling you right now is the same shit I've been saying for the last 12 years. I feel like a broken record.
You guys should have it all like just written down like in a packet and just like send it to people, have them download it.
We're working on it. I'm working on it.
Well, hey, I have the network part, so if you need help with that, I can help you with that part. That's what my degree's in.
Okay.
But no, those are the couple questions I had. Just about like at what point in training, because we were given a schedule, but it was we're going a little bit different based off that schedule, because I think that was more of an in-seat schedule, and it didn't really explain like what we're doing exactly each time. So I was just curious about it. That's all.
Yeah. So first, we want me to go over the schedule with you guys. Monday I go over what we go over is the opportunity, because you're not going to like, why would you learn the script if you didn't know how much money you can make for learning the script? You know what I'm saying? I gotta show you like what you got to know how to score points to win the game. So I'm showing you how to score the points.
I guess
And
what I meant was like not. There was like one day, I think it was yesterday, where we met with, I think this guy's name was Tom. I can't remember.
Todd.
We met with Todd and we met with Casey, and they both literally went over the same thing. And Todd was like, "Oh, we went over that." I was like, "Yeah, Casey kind of went over it." But with Casey's meeting, it ended up just being a one-on-one meeting because other people didn't join. And so he went like through like a whole cap of everything. He went through like how much you make. He gave us some website with a link that you can like download all like the agent handbook. It had like a calculator on there. It had like all this stuff. Like I actually learned a lot from that. And then we met with Todd, and Todd was like trying to cap over it. And I was like, "Oh, well, we went over that with Casey." He's like, "Oh, shoot, my bad. Like I didn't know that you guys already did that." And so that's where I was just confused because like it's like, okay, you know, there's a lot going on, and it's like it doesn't seem like there's a like a schedule. So that's all. Not like
there's a schedule, bro. There's a schedule. I got a schedule.
Okay.
You want me to, I got it. It's written down.
No, it was just to me. I was just confused.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you the schedule. Here's the schedule. Monday we go over understanding the opportunity, which is me going over how the pay works, so you know how your money works.
Okay.
That's what we go over Monday, and I orientate you guys, and I talk to you guys. Tuesday, Casey goes over activity, and today I was reviewing this all with you guys too, and you should have clear notes on all this. So I know what you have notes on because I know what you have go on every day. So we have a schedule, bro. It's a very clear-cut schedule, for our trainees. It's very simple. I can't get any more simple than it is. The schedule goes like this. Trainees from 9 until noon should be with their managers role playing.
Role play, okay.
That's what we do in the mornings. We role play the script from 9 until noon, just role playing, sparring, practicing. Then you take a break, and then from 1 to 4 you have training class. Then we take a break, and from 5 until 8, whenever you guys hop off the phones with your manager, you should be with the manager on the phones from 5 until 8, 9, whatever, learning how to make calls, and also sitting in on presentations, doing some of the presentation, hopefully.
Okay.
That's what we want to be doing.
Oh, that's what it was. They had asked if we were running calls yet, and we were like, no, not yet. He's like, "Oh, you should be doing calls," and we're like, "Oh, well, we haven't done that yet." So that's why it got confused. I was like, "Oh, well, were we not following that schedule, or?" Because that's what got confusing.
It's not what you should do. It's just wherever you're at. I mean, look,
okay.
I got one guy who comes in his first day. He's booking appointments the second day. He's a beast on the phones. I got another guy. He didn't touch the phones until Saturday.
Okay.
Because he never made phone calls before, or he missed 2 days of training. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everybody moves at their own pace. You can't overanalyze this shit, bro. You're thinking way too much. Like, what are you thinking about, dude? Just don't worry about it. You're right where you need to be. You're on the call. You're learning. You guys are good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyways, Todd and Casey, I don't know what they said to confuse you guys, but I'll talk to them. But Tuesday is simple. Tuesday, we go over the phone calls. How many phone calls you make per hour, how many hours of phone calls, how to make a phone call, stuff like that. You should have went over that Tuesday. Wednesday, you should went over the first half of the presentation. First half of the presentation is prep work. You should make sure you're prepared before you walk in. Then when you walk in, you got to make sure you have a good introduction. The good introduction when you walk in will be, "Hi, my name's Tom Vina with American Income. Here's my business card. Here's my lanyard. Here's the introduction slide to American Income Life. Here's American Income Life. Here's we're A+ rated. All that stuff's up on the screen right there. And then after we introduce ourselves and introduce our company, then we build rapport with the people. So rapport should be the 5 rapport building questions. Nice home, or nice, one's typically like nice home. How long have you lived in the area? You have a lot of family. Your parents still alive? How are they doing? How's their health? What's your work like over there? Do you work with a lot of people? Is it busy? How long have you worked there? What do you do over there? And then the fifth question is, I'm new to the area. What do you guys do for fun around here?
Okay.
Those are the 5 rapport building questions. And right after we go over the 5 rapport building questions, then they should have went over this on Wednesday with you, introducing why we're there.
Yeah.
So Joe, my name's Tom Vina. Like I said, I'm with American Income. We're contracted through your company, through your president, Jimmy Smith. He's the president of your organization. He contracted to work with our company to make sure you guys have permanent, guaranteed, permanent benefits and life insurance. Because the problem is with your group and with all the members that we service, the problem is everybody has life insurance, and most companies provide group life insurance to all their employees. But whenever they leave, what typically happens to those benefits is a lot of times is they lose those benefits. You think about if you quit, get fired, or retire, what typically happens to most people's benefits, Joe?
Yeah.
That's right, they go away. So that was a problem that they had. So your president, along with, we work with 40,000 other groups as well. They all work with us and make sure that we provide their members with guaranteed permanent life insurance options. So today I'm going to be able to go over those with you, answer any questions, and help you guys enroll into the benefits if that makes sense to you. But Joe, let me just tell you, my job is to go over the 4 no-cost benefits that have already been set up for you, as well as those additional benefits you have to qualify for. You do what you want with those. I just need to answer any questions that you have and make sure you get your benefits. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Now, Joe, you probably never seen anything about our company. We don't do any advertising at all. And I add this in myself. This is probably not in your script because I always just say this. But, I always say we don't do any advertising. You see all those other companies out there, they spend millions and billions of dollars on advertising, little critters running across the screen. They'll sponsor NASCARs, right? At the end of the day, who do you think really pays for all that advertising? The clients. So what our company does, we take all those same millions and billions of dollars, but we put them back into our programs. In fact, you'll never see a commercial. The only thing you'll see is me playing this little video for you here today. And that's my little slide into the video.
Smooth.
So we played a video, and just so you guys know, as a side note, you don't have to tell this to the client, but you could. We have more life insurance in force than Aflac and Geico combined.
Dang.
But you'll see their names everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That makes sense. I mean, it's good that you guys spend it in that aspect. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing. Not wasting money.
Yeah, we put it right back into the programs for the clients.
Yeah.
So the next thing would be is we play the introduction video, and that's kind of where your Wednesday should have probably left off.
Okay.
And then Thursday should have been no cost benefits.
No cost. Yeah, we went over no cost.
So that was pretty much going over the AD&D certificate, the child safe, making sure you do the child safe. Now they're not asking for any monetary donations, but they are asking for your help in protecting the community by sponsoring at least 10 other families to receive their kits. So Joe, who do you know that has kids under the age of 16 or 18 that would need the child safety kits as well? I know you said that the kids go over your mom's house a lot, right? Well, anytime they're at your mom's house, they always recommend grandma to have kits there too. So let's get your mom and grandfather now. We'll get them over. We'll make sure we get kits up to them. Who else? Your sister has kids. We'll get kits over to your sister. And boom, I usually take 2 or 3 right off the rip.
Dang.
The mom's an easy one because when I do rapport building, I always go, oh, okay. So you got family living close by? Oh, that's a blessing. How close does your mom live, Joe? She lives right up the street. Oh, I bet you the grandkids are probably always over there, huh?
There you go.
Gee, I bet you she loves it. She probably loves it. And he's like, oh, yeah, and just think about that. I get excited thinking about how cool that is for the grandkids to be able to grow up in the same neighborhood where she gets to see grandma all the time.
Yeah.
Some grandkids don't get that.
I'm sure it helps when you have kids. It makes it more relatable, and it shows they're like, oh, you care about this and yada yada.
Yeah. So So when I do that, though, I gathered valuable information.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, so they probably go there at least once a week, right? She babysit for you a lot? As soon as they tell me that, guess what I know I'm going to do later? Say, oh, well, they're always over grandma's house. We definitely have to get her some child safety kits. And I just get her name real quick. There's an easy set. Hey, I was just talking to your daughter. What do you think? She's going to hang up the phone when I call her?
Yeah.
You know, it's the easy ones, right? So you're going to learn all these tricks of the trade, which is beautiful, you know. But when I'm going through, you're going to get the child safety referrals. And after you get the child safety referrals, then you're going to want to make sure you get them called right then and there. So you know what? If I would say, so Sabian, if I gave a call to, or what I say, if we don't give a call to your mom and get her on the schedule now, the chances of us getting her on the schedule when I leave go down dramatically. So let's just give her a call right now, and we'll just get her right on my schedule. That way we don't have to worry about it. Be nice and easy. I could even call her. We just give her a quick call right now. Maybe from your phone would even be easier. What do you think? Right? And then we make the phone calls together. Typically, we'd be in the home or over the Zoom call. You know, we make the call together. And if I had 10 referrals, we'd call maybe 7 of them or something, and I would probably get 4 or 5 booked right then and there, because it's nice. And then they'll go like this. Here's the biggest rebuttal. Oh, she's not home right now. Right?
Yeah.
They're not going to answer, whatever reason they say, right? Here's what you say. Okay, perfect. That way we could just leave them a message. We don't even got to talk to them then. You know?
I like that.
So, there he is. Look at this guy. Look, he was just doing like the Richard Simmons workout in the basement.
With the headband?
Yeah. He was listening to 80s dance music.
It looks
I'll
like
be in your office a little bit, Ryan.
All right.
that's awesome.
So,
I just want to make sure that I'm being efficient. Like I don't want to waste your guys' time. So I just want to make sure that I'm like on the right track, I guess.
you guys are doing perfect. Yeah, honestly, if you're just you're sticking to the play call and being coachable and listening to the managers, you're doing what you're exactly where you need to be.
Okay.
You know, you're exactly where you need
Yeah.
to be. So then, you know, you guys went over after the child safe. You went over. Did you go over the discount cards?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Went over the discount card, and then there should be a free will kit and a family information guide. Now remember, we're not going to use all of them all the time.
Okay.
So that's going to be something where, you know, over time you're going to know, well, this one I'm definitely going to be going over these and highlighting these no cost benefits, because the client's going to care about that more too. I'm going to bring more value. Obviously, if it's a senior, they don't got any kids, no grandkids. Going over to child safe's not going to bring any value to them, and it's a waste of their time, you know. So you're going to start to realize like what's going to bring more value to people, what's not going to bring value to them. Because the whole point of the no-cost benefits is for us to help people out, bring some value to them, build rapport, and we don't just walk into a home and just start slapping products down and try and sell them something. You know, we're able to serve them a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then after we hit the no-cost benefits, then you're going to say to them, okay, Joe, well, now what we found is it's 2020. What we found, pretty much everybody has life insurance, but not really everyone knows what they have or really even how it works. So they found right now that it really boils down to there's like 400 different types out there. It really boils down to just 2 main types of life insurance. And that, Joe, I'm going to pull, can you guys see this on the screen here? And I pull up the screen, obviously, and it's going to say whole life versus term. I'm going to pull up the example. There's really 2 types. The first type is whole life. The second type is term life. Now, the difference here is whole life will last, just like it says on there. It'll be lasted for your whole life. Never goes away, right? Term life is temporary coverage, you know, and then I just go back and forth. and I compare the two for the client.
Okay.
Then after that, you're going to say, now, Joe, one of your no-cost benefits is they set up for you is your needs analysis. What this is going to do is take into consideration your current situation. It'll show you have any gaps in your coverage. And if you have some gaps, it'll recommend a few things. If you don't have any gaps, it won't recommend anything at all.
Okay.
So your date of birth was this, her date of birth was this, your income's this, and you fill out this needs analysis. After you fill out the needs analysis, you go over a mandatory read-off letter and a paragraph after, which basically tells them, hey, after I go through this information with you, just let us know, yes or no. So you don't basically say you want to think about it. So just let us know yes or no. That's all we want to know at the end. And the second thing we go over with them is the hour power. Hey, if you made an extra hour or two this week in your pay, you're not going to buy a new car and take a dream vacation. If we got cut back by an hour or two, probably not going to sell the car and cancel the vacation either. So either way, an hour or two doesn't make that big of a difference. So they said, let's put it towards something that would. So Joe, here's what the expert simulator recommends for you. And it says for funeral and final expenses, it shows that you need this. For income, shows you need this. So at the end of the day, Joe, out of all these benefits, you need these 4 benefits here: income, mortgage, funeral protection, child education. Which one do you feel would benefit your family the most if you had to pick one? And then I have the client always pick benefit. And if Joe says he likes the funeral benefit, then I ask him why, and I'm going to ask him why it's important to him. So I have the clients tell us, what's important to them and why it's important to them. And then I go to Mary. Hey, Mary, out of all these benefits are on the screen here for your family, which one do you feel is important to you? Why is it important to you? And I have them fill that out. Okay. So that's all next week stuff. So next week and this week end, what you can do to prepare is start going over that is, okay, so I'm going to fill out this needs analysis. The needs analysis is going to come up with recommendations for them if they have any needs. And my job is to be able to explain the recommendations to them. I have to be able to explain the recommendations to the client.
Okay.
After we fill out after we go over the recommendations to the client, then we have to assume the sale and close them down.
Okay.
Assume the sale and close them down.
Sale.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I got one line for it, and pretty much I just say to everybody, now Joe and Mary, everyone always wants to try and qualify for the benefits, but unfortunately not everyone can. So I need to make sure you can qualify first. And then I fill out the app. So I'll go in there, I'll fill out the application. So Joe, have you ever met Alcoholics Anonymous or AA? The second question reads, do you have any DUIs, DWIs? Do you arrested for any felonies, misdemeanors, or anything like that? Okay. Third question says, you ever use drugs, narcotics, hallucinogens? Okay. Fourth question says, you have any problems with blood pressure, high blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. Fifth question. And I ask them these questions, and now they're on the hot seat, right? Now they're like, wait a minute, I don't just get these benefits. I have to qualify? I'm like, yeah. So it's like I showed them the benefits, and then I almost like take it away from them now, But we start filling out the app, assuming that they're going to buy. They never said like, hey, I'm going to buy. Can you fill out an application for me? They never say that. We just start filling out the app,
Okay.
So that's the key in the close right there. And you'll learn all that next week too.
Okay.
From that point, it's going to give recommendations. The recommendations are going to be 3 things typically. It's going to be whole life to cover their funeral and final expenses. It's going to be term life to cover their their income and their debts.
Yep.
And it'll recommend accidental death benefit to cover for children's education. And sometimes for mortgages, you could add that on there if they can't afford the other stuff. It's a cheap solution. And then what you're going to learn to do is give them recommendations based upon what that's recommended. So you say, Joe, based upon your situation, based upon what this is recommending, what I've done for most of my best clients is this or that.
Okay.
And you're going to be able to, like right now, I don't need a needs analysis. I could just literally meet with somebody, take a pen and paper, write it down. I could figure out exactly how much life insurance they need right here. Can I figure out how much life insurance you need real quick for free?
Sure.
All right. Do you have any life insurance right now?
No, I just have like accidental death insurance, like
Okay.
from a car crash, dismemberment.
AD&D. So that's what our company has. I'm trained in my sales guys. We give all of our union people that we sell, they get free accidental death and dismemberment from our company. So that pays out if you're in an accident, death benefit, and also dismemberment. So so the first thing you want to look at would be funeral, right? So you would need your 40, 50, 40.
I'm 50.
50, okay. So 50, you would need at least 30,000 for a funeral. So you need 30,000 a whole life coverage. Do you have any debts? Any
Mortgage.
major debts? Mortgage.
Yeah.
How much you own your mortgage?
I still have like probably 45,000.
That's not bad.
No.
45,000. That's good. And do you have any
on
other?
that tractor?
Oh, your tractor?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's your business.
That's
Right?
ridiculous.
What do you owe on that?
On that, I probably still owe like 50 grand.
Okay. All right. So probably about 100,000 in debts.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you have any buddy that relies on your income?
No.
So you're just solely dependent upon yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because like if you had a wife or kids or just somebody that was like we're solely relying on your income,
Right.
then we want to make sure that if you passed away that they still had some income coming.
Right.
You know, so that's one thing we do. And if you did pass, who would be responsible for funerals and all that?
Probably be either my girl or my sister, one of the two.
And then who would take care of the mortgage and all that? Would you want to just be paid off when you passed?
That's basically what I'm working on.
You want to make sure it's paid off,
Absolutely.
and you can leave it behind for somebody.
Yep.
That's a legacy. You leave behind a legacy.
Yep.
You have a house for your family, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you really don't need that much. You know, you would need just enough for a funeral, 30,000 a whole life, and if you wanted, if you passed, what would you want to have happen with the trailer? Keep it, sell it?
That tractor out there?
Yeah.
They could go.
It could go. Would you want it paid off though, and then they could sell it?
Truthfully,
Or
no.
You think they'd have trouble?
Appreciate like.
would they have trouble selling it? You
Yep.
think? So they'd have to have some money just to make sure they paid payments until it got sold.
I'd let it go.
Yeah. How much was the payments on it?
$1,600 a month.
So you'd want probably at least a year for them to sell it. So you'd need probably like $16,000, about $20,000 for them to have
Just
payments
right.
on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So you're looking at probably 65,000 of term coverage and 30,000 of whole life coverage is what you would need, and that would take care of everything. And the whole life coverage builds cash, so when you're older, you can even take some money out.
Right.
So
That's
I've
something
been
to think about.
doing this since I was 21.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
you are the youngest. I've been doing this all my life.
Yeah.
Very successful person.
Thank you, man. I
I
appreciate it.
mean, you are. Very.
I'm
Be proud of
30. I
yourself.
think I'm 36 right now,
Think-
Did a good job.
man. Well, I'm trying to train these guys up to do the same thing, man. Tell them they gotta listen and take
Yeah,
notes.
you got to listen to this guy. He's number one in my book.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Hey, you got it, brother. Thank you. So it don't take long. What was that? 3 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't long.
You know, we got to identify. The key is identifying who is going to be who is going to be responsible when you pass away. And I found out would be his girl or his sister. You know, so you want to find that stuff out too. That's really the key.
Okay.
That was an easy one.
Yeah.
You know, I'll write him before I leave. I'll give him a prescription, give him a little quote. Literally, then I'll take it on a sheet of paper. I don't need nothing, man. I need a sheet of paper. I'll just write it on a sheet of paper for him. You say, here you go. All right, give me a call when you're ready.
Yeah. Well,
Wait
it's
till I'm that good.
helpful. It's helpful hearing it from. I mean, we can tell you've definitely been doing this for a long ass time. So it's like you feel very comfortable and confident in what you do. And I
Look,
think
I'm in a t-shirt and shorts and a hat.
but I think that's good though. It's like, and I'm not questioning how you want the training done. I guess I was just asking, like, you know, I want to make sure that I'm being efficient. I want to make sure, like, as far as that goes, like, because right now
I
kind of
love
feel
it. We're going to need to get better. We're going to need to get better. And the only way we get better is from you guys. Like, when you guys come in, you're going to think of better ways to make everything better, you know?
Yeah. No, I want to make sure that because like I said, the efficiency thing, and I feel like a couple days this week it was repetitive, which is fine. I want to make sure that we didn't skip anything we needed. Like, I feel just from you doing that, it kind of like made up for like the week of like, there was a couple of days that felt repetitive and like just learned more just talking to you into the past 20 minutes and, you know, a couple hours of the other day. So it's like,
putting it all together a little bit more.
Yeah. I want to make sure that I'm on the right track. And I know everyone has different learning level. Like, that's obviously a thing. And I'm like, I told everyone else, like, this is a new field for me, like being in the Army. Oh, this is a new field, but I'm a quick learner. And I just want to make sure that, because I feel like, am I missing something? Like, am I not doing something right? Like, I have all these notes. I'm like, did we skip something? And I asked Ryan the other day, I'm like, I want to make sure that we're on the right track, because it just seems like we just repeated a day of like, am I a day off? Like, what the heck is going on? Like,
yeah. Well, I like to hear. On one end, I do like to hear it is repetitive on a positive thing, because it shows that we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You know. And if you hear the same thing a couple times, guys, there's a reason for it. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, this guy said it.
Yeah.
This guy said it, and he said it.
Yeah.
I better make sure I at least do that one at all of them, you know? So
And
like sometimes this guy may say one thing, this guy might say another, this guy might say a whole nother, right?
Yeah.
And now you don't know what. But hey, but if all three are saying the same thing, those are the ones you stick to those ones, and the ones that are off, you better investigate and find out which ones are more your speed, you know?
No, and like the information's all good. I guess it's like, I know, like, you know, I'm not trying to throw Ryan under the bus with me, but like, I feel like we're pretty like confident with the job. Like, we like the job. We're not doing it for the money. Like, the money is great. And I think you have to be hungry for that drive. We're just like, now we want the information. Let's get going. Let's go.
Okay. I love it.
Like, we're trying to be motivated with, okay, you can make $1 million. Yeah, that's great and dandy. Until I make $1 million, I don't want to talk about making it. I want to just like get the information processed and go. And I think it's that aspect where it's like, some people are money hungry, and that's the drive, what drives them. Some people, I'm doing this job because I think it's a good job. Like, I'm not, to me, the motivation is not the money. Like, money comes and goes. I want to do this because I feel like it's a good job. Yeah. And so I guess everybody has a different motivator, and I think it does motivate people differently. So it's like, I just want to make sure we're getting the right information, because I want to do, you know, I want to work good for the company, and I want to work good for myself. And I'm not here just because the money's good, and when the money's gone, I'm leaving. I'm here because I think it's a good company, and I want to work with you guys.
That's what I love to hear, man.
I think
and that's why you're going to be great.
I think it's just different motivators, and that's why I just want to make sure that we were on the right track, and it wasn't like everyone's going to be telling us, okay, this is how much money you can make. It's like, well, okay, great. Like, but I want to make sure.
Who's going over the money?
Well, Casey went over it, Todd went over it. I mean, I know they're doing it because that's what they have to do, but I just want to like make sure we're moving on with the schedule, and like, I want to make sure I'm on the right training track, and I make sure I get the right license. Like, I want to make sure I'm doing everything good, because I would hate to come up there and you guys are like, oh, you're behind, and I'm like,
yeah, no way,
like, no, I'm ready. I want to start making y'all money.
Come on. Well, I think you guys are. You know, today I wanted to review the week. And what you should have went over this week is all that stuff. If you guys went over, you know, for day one, you know, the structure. Day 2, you went over phone calls. Day 3, you guys went over the first half of the presentation, the beginning of the presentation. And day 4, you went over the no cost. Then you're right on pace. Today was for us to review the week together. Pretty much to review the week together. That's why Ryan had his notes out earlier. We were kind of going over day 1, day 2, just reviewing your notes, see if there's any questions you guys had along the way on some of the information, you know, specifically, even if there's any, you know, specifics like, hey, I wasn't sure about this, or.
and I think everything looks really good. You answered a majority of my questions. Any other questions I have, I'll just give to Drew or something. Like I'm not really sure what the hierarchy is yet. I guess because I haven't met all of you guys, but
Yeah, man.
I'll just.
I want to be as hands-on as possible. You know, that's why I'm trying to run training classes and do everything I can.
Okay.
You know, as hands-on. Like today, I'm you see, I got movers moving stuff into my house, and I mean, if this don't show you I'm dedicated, I don't know what does, because you know nobody else would be doing this. I'm supposed to be helping my wife and my mom and shit, and I'm, you know, I told them, hey, I got training class, and we put this in place months ago, this schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to it. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah. Anything you guys need, my guys, we're all here. You know, we're dedicated to the mission, man, and you know, being the best we can be. So
yeah. Well,
so anything you guys need, just reach out to us. You know, Drew, I would say would be your number one point of contact at this point.
Okay.
But I believe you're going to be working with Todd as well. And
Josh also.
And Josh and me. It'll be Josh, Todd, me, Drew, you know, plus anybody else. When you're up there today, Rye, you'll see, you won't even know. There's like, you know, Gio has his team he's responsible for, but you won't even know whose team is what.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, you'll have a good week next week,
You
too. Did you guys meet Gio yet?
Is he the one with the hair?
Yeah.
For some odd reason, he looks like a Geo. I don't know why. The guy with the hair.
Yeah, that's right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So he walks around with this hairspray. It says "big and sexy" right on it. Big
Seriously?
and sexy hairspray. I'm like, goodness gracious. Characters. You got some characters. It's fun. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys. Next week you'll get to hear from those guys too.
Okay.
So they'll go over closing and all that.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Well,
Yeah.
have a safe trip.
Yep.
Talk
Enjoy
to you
your
guys
weekend.
soon.
All right.
See you
Take
guys.
care.
Yep.
Bye.